Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel once again. Hope you're all doing well and enjoyed the recent festivities. Wishing you all a happy new year, of course. As promised, of course, I wanted to return with some more knowledge upon the god spirit of Saturn, also known as Saturn, one of the names that was given to me. There are multiple names, of course, just like every other spirit which he venerates, and there is female aspect also, just like every other spirit. But this one comes forth with both of them being heavily prominent, of course. That can be seen in the androgynous appearance which the spirit makes. It's hard to define what it is, really. As mentioned, this particular spirit appears in our solar system, in the system that we venerate as our solar system in space. Further details are given within the Facebook channel, with all the descriptions are below, of course, and links which you may check out if you want, in order to receive the knowledge. It's out there for all of you to connect if you desire it to. But I wanted to give some more insight on what happens after contact has been made with this particular planetary god spirit. Okay, what is actually the god spirit of Saturn? Okay, it's basically the as dark devouring essence of the creator. Okay, it is one of the dark aspects that the creator possesses. Okay, as we all know, the creator, the building force of the universe, also known as God, possesses both light and dark attributes, okay, both creative and destructive. And he is the most creative and the most destructive being in the entire universe, okay? So, after contact has been made through the means which are described within the channel and the post that I've made, you are basically taken into the planetary energy of Saturn through the planetary sphere, okay? And you shall enter a particular world. The planetary initiations and spirits you connect with are literally gateways. These gateways will take you into a world where you shall be tested, of course. And as always, as I've mentioned, these tests are serious. Loss and failure of the test and death of yourself within the test basically means the death of you. So it is serious. If you fail the test there, then you will have experienced the second death, of course. So I've made that very clear for everyone. And it's not for everyone to just simply go in and perform this ritual that God Saturn gave me. What is this ritual, which I forgot to mention? It is an empowerment ritual which infuses you heavily and attributes you heavily to the energies of Saturn, okay? This will empower a number of attributes which I mentioned in the post, and it also comes with a second part transformation from Sargatanas, okay? Very few is known about this creature, but he's a formidable creature to work with. I suggest him to most people for empowerment. If you feel drawn to him, do not hesitate, of course, to try and connect a little bit further with him. Sargatanas doesn't rule upon any legions of himself, which is very shocking to me, from what I found out. He is simply an emissary of transformation, a mediator of the greater spirit, okay, of Saturn. what will happen is he is actually the first part that will transform you through this particular ritual that was given to me. Sargatanas will come while you sleep and he will bite you. Okay? You will wake up and see that two big holes are starting to form around the side of your left artery here. What is significant through time is that within the next 3 weeks, the left bite mark will disappear and the right one will remain. At least that's what has happened in my case. Every case is different. You may not be bitten at all. You may simply be taken into projection and bitten there. It depends how the spirit operates according to your own soul attributes and who you are. What is tremendously significant is that Sargatanas actually amends spirits to merge with your own double, your own soul. But unlike other transformations, which help the double to shift into different beings and become these different beings while acquiring these attributes, through Sargatanas, you will be amended different spirits, okay? 2 of them, from what I have personally experienced. And these 2 shall be literally extensions of your own self, your own double, your own soul. So you are not shifting into them directly. These spirits are attached to your own double and act as extensions, literally. The easiest way to describe this would be a stick on a tree, which is relatively older, will eventually start growing other sticks on its side, and this is how a young tree is formed when it grows, okay? So, with your double being the older stick that already is there existing, you are growing 2 more extensions. The other 2 sticks that are going to grow are literally extensions that are going to develop from little openings that appear from the stick and become another stick, okay? So you are not shifting into these beings. They are just extensions of you. What happens later is that these beings will be sent forth. They shall be released into the desert of the earth. And just like the planetary energies and spirits, the deserts are literally the exact same thing. Transformations through any gate or spirit basically mean that the spirit is the gateway. And you have a gate, you go in, the world that you're in, you see, you're going to be tested in. So it's a gate, corridor, and then another gate, which brings you out in the end, ready to go to the next corridor, and the next, and the next. That's one good way to visualize and describe these transformations as they occur. These beings will be released into the deserts, and they actually guarantee safe passage of the secondary crossings, which you have to go through if you are deemed fit for them, of course. Not everybody's going to go through that. Not everybody's going to cross once to begin with. It's not for everyone. For those of you who, of course, are here or drawn to this because you are deemed fit or you have been summoned by the spirit directly to go through it, then you shall. The beings that will be amended will be different. They will not be of the same race of spirit. They will not look the same in any way. In my personal case, what I saw was a black tiger with, it was already black, but its stripes were even darker, so you could tell it's a tiger. It's hard to explain. Colors are different when you are in the Qliphothic, and it's not difficult to differentiate them. This creature is tremendously big, of course, to the extent that it can stand upon a castle wall with its 2 legs as if it's a fence, a garden fence. Its tail separates into 3 other smaller tails, which have scorpion stings at its end, okay? And its back at the shoulder length is very, very curved, almost hyena-like, okay? And it has yellow shining eyes. This particular being has tremendous tracking abilities. It increases the sense of astral and physical smell. So do vampiric attunements, by the way. But this one is more of a primal, has more of a primal function, this particular being. And heavily attributed to the Athic attribute, of course, as from what I have personally witnessed, tigers are sacred to King Belial, and they do roam within the dark city that lies before the Black Tower, okay, that he has, which is an initial test which you'll have to pass once you enter the city to literally go through the city without being eaten by everything that roams around there and make it to the tower. And then you are free to begin. It doesn't mean that that's the end of the line. It only means that's the end of the beginning. The second being, which shall be amended, which I saw, is a being that looked very similar to those who know Deadlaugh, the character from the Witcher 3 video game, when he shifts into this vampire being with great big wings. It's similar to that, although it has a straight, more athletic and lean posture. It is blind, just like the game character. It has no eyes. It is black and has grey camo patterns. Also a little bit of dark blue, but very fainted, hard to see. And big demon wings, claws on arms and legs. Although it has wings, this particular aspect does not fly. It doesn't use its wings. It shifts into a black cloud and it roams into the desert. And since it is blind, through this, you can shift through these particular beings and see which one is where and what they're doing, by the way, at the same time. This particular being has a vision which is like an X-ray, okay? But that vision is not from its eyes because it doesn't possess any eyes. When you see through this creature, you are able to see through a sonar system, basically, okay, into a great radius. And that's how you view these images of the X-ray kind of vision that it brings back to you, okay? This is a heavily vampiric aspect. It is amazing for cloaking. It is amazing for vampirism. It is amazing for all kinds of psychic attacks. And both of these are equally amazing for astral tracking down particular prey, okay? Or targets, what have you. Name them one as you will. And as I said, they guarantee safe passage into the path workings. Why? Well, because other beings will not attack them. They simply go forth. And they cross for you, so your double doesn't have to cross for the second time. As I've already mentioned, if this is your first crossing, such comfort will not be amended. Given the fact that you perform this ritual without having started any initiation or path working prior to the Qliphothic crossings, what's going to happen is the spirits will take it into consideration and it will be kept aside until it's time for you to cross, and you will be thrown into a different initiation, different test, different path working altogether, as always, as they deem fit for each and every one of you, for everyone is different. Now, the initiation of Saturn after the original connection has been made and after the path working has been initiated. What occurs there is tremendous and amazing. You shall enter, how can I describe it in words? The darkest of places in space. The recycling machine of the universe. It's literally like going into the black hole that roams the universe, recycling dead planets and eating them, basically. when you go in there, there's nothing. Nothing but absolute chaos, but absolute devourment. It just devours. It eats everything in its path, okay? What I witnessed when I entered, first of all, I was in eternal darkness and I was falling downwards. Then I landed in a series of worlds that were all in a row, lined up before each other. And you had one big black mass of darkness with an open mouth that was coming over, devouring these worlds. And these worlds had, of course, cities, big, huge cities like we have here in our physical world, with huge buildings, very tall buildings, what have you. I landed in there, and all I can see is this huge darkness devouring this world. And in front of this world, there is another world that just barely touches. And they just kept on coming. So these worlds were permanently stuck into the death cycle. They were just being devoured one after the other. So once you land in there, first of all, you have to escape the mass that devours, because you're stuck in a recycling machine and you will be devoured, which is very bad. At the same time, there is a particular spirit that God has created there, completely unknown to me, because I didn't really get to talk to it since it started chasing me and trying to literally kill my double and eat it. It was a silver metal minotaur with red eyes, and that spirit is very, very simple. It doesn't have understanding, it doesn't have words, it doesn't have intelligence. It's not like the demonic kings or the archangels, okay? It does not possess the intelligence that these beings have. You won't get any interaction. The only thing that's going to happen is that it is created only for one reason, and that is to destroy any intruders that enter this realm, because that is a forbidden realm. You are really not supposed to be there within the black hole where everything is devoured and destroyed. It's like a laundry that just keeps taking and taking and taking and destroying. Like in factories and constructions where you have these machines where you just throw everything in there just to be destroyed and dismantled in pieces, like in metal workshops and places, or like in a car junkyard where you have a magnet that just keeps throwing cars in there, and there's just like a big grinder that just destroys all the cars that go in, turns them into pieces. That's literally where you are in. You are in that machine, and that's bad, okay? So that thing is going to literally start chasing you. So within that moment, you have to escape. So of course, you're just going to start running. And it's the best thing you should do. The second you're in there, you have to run. You have to escape. Don't try and fight that creature. There is no beating it, by the way. What is significant within that place, you will see that these worlds are completely empty. Nothing exists there but that guardian spirit that keeps going from one world to the next, scanning them for any signs of life. And it doesn't get devoured. It has safe passage to do so. Fun fact, so do you, if you find the small passage to escape. So what happens is you have to keep running away. It's very similar, if you think about it, to the Prince of Persia video game, the very first one that came out, where he's going in this world that keeps changing all the time, trying to escape, and he always has this kind of a big black minotaur shadow being that is a demolition machine. It keeps following him and chasing him down to kill him, and it just breaks through walls, breaks through buildings, breaks anything, and there's nothing you can do to stop that creature or fight it. That thing is literally the exact same thing. It is nothing but a complete destroyer spirit that God created. So it's gonna go through buildings, it's gonna go through anything. There is nothing that can stop it, and nothing that you can throw at it that will stop it. What is very significant and shocked me is that while I was in that world, I displayed Arachnid attributes. So I was all of a sudden able to climb on walls, kind of like Spider-Man. And I wasn't able, in that world you will lose some of your attributes. Like if you're able to fly and you have demon wings, you won't be able to do so. Your double is stripped away from bonuses for the purpose of this test. So I was only able to climb through walls and literally throw webs out of my hands, which was very weird, and yank myself away, okay? Like literally, like a catapult. Which I only know one spirit who can give Arachnid attributes upon your double. These are all astral attributes, of course, that we're talking about. That is Arachnid, which means spider in Greek. It's the spider queen, also known. For the majority of the public is English speakers, so you would recognize the spider queen. Seferans is another name that you might know where else. I personally have nothing to do with that spirit. I've only made very, very short contact once, and that is for the purpose of an operation which wasn't even for me, so I'm not exactly sure where these attributes came from, but I do know that they did save the situation that was ongoing. So the problem starts when you start to reach the end of that world that you're in, and all you see is the black mass, and the other world is in front of you. So it's very difficult to try and understand that you have a big black mass that's devouring this world, this city, and then you have that guardian thing that's chasing you, smashing through buildings and just jumping everywhere. You can go up on high rooftops, it's still gonna jump through the concrete, break through it, and just follow you. It's an unstoppable thing, and it's tremendously scary when that thing is chasing you. There's nothing you can do. Then the end reaches, so you can't jump into the void, because then you'll be devoured. Okay, once again, because there's nothing but black space and black thunders there. Literally, no planets, no stars. It's just a big, pitch black area. And when you're in the city, there's only two colors that exist. That is black and gray. So you're literally in a place that is like, if you know the movie Sin City, which is black and white, and it's always dark. Literally the exact same thing. Black and gray. That's all you see. Okay. We call it black and white. It's actually black and gray, okay? That's all you'll see down there. Needless to say, there are no other spirits there. It's just you and the guardian, okay? There's nothing else. It's the very first time that I see such a world. Usually there's always something that you will have to fight against or walk through in the Qliphothic and all that. But you're not in the Qliphothic, so things are different there. So the trick to pass this test literally was, just as the consumption is about to take place between the previous and the new world, these two worlds will temporarily come very close to each other, okay? They won't touch. But at the same time, the black mass comes on top of it, and all of the three are literally aligned for that particular 1 second, okay? And that is the window that your double has. You can literally jump out through that gap as they're all aligned, and this will enable your double to go through the next world, okay? And you are to pass 3 worlds. And after that, once you pass the 3rd one, God Saturn just teleports you out of it. Literally. Just sucks you out. Just before you get to jump through that gap, the perfect alignment of the 2 worlds that are about to collide, because there will be a huge intergalactic explosion, but that will not affect anything because the mass is eating it at the same time. So you can imagine, it's like putting a grenade in your mouth like in the cartoons. It blows up, but you hide the explosion. This is a metaphor, of course. I'm not saying that anybody should do this. Yeah, please. I believe that we all possess common sense here, yeah? I don't want to be blamed later for something that some mentally unstable person did. Everything is metaphorically speaking here. So, that's when God Saturn takes you out. He teleports you out. And you passed. Just by that. But just literally, you escape by that much. I personally have never been through such a severe test. It was the worst, the most dangerous test that I have been through. I also received, as a blessing, another creature which helps the brain function, memory, and anything that has to do with numerological value, which is also within the group, the Facebook group of Dark Soul Gnosticism. What is very significant to me through these transformations, when you come back and you have awakened, okay, then you will be approached by dozens and dozens of unknown spirits that will want to meet you. Personally, I was randomly approached by Lulua, for those who don't know the spirit. She came to me as a black rattlesnake with a strange snake-looking skull as a head that had two teeny tiny horns on it, and a horn on its nose, and white fire in its eyes, and many other creatures. What's very significant, the spirits that you will meet through these particular planetary worlds and initiations are going to look more alien-like. They will no longer look as if they are demonic or Qliphothic at all, okay? They will not have mixed humanoid and animal attributions like most demons tend to do, and they will not look biblically demonic with horns and sharp teeth or what have you. They will look pretty alien-like, okay? And this will bestow, yet again after this test, a tremendous transformation, which your own double starts to look a little bit more alien-like. Like, in my case, what happened is, I had the same black warlike helmet with that Astaroth possesses, for those who have seen it, with the three sharp edges, okay, on it. Completely pale white, like milk, and something that looked like an exoskeleton, a black exoskeleton that was extremely hard. Your double shall grow extremely tall, about 6 meters tall, okay? Very giant and Nephilimic tall, okay? You will have a golden light spear, which I have no idea where it came from, and a big tail, and at its end, something that looks like a black blade. Literally like the creature from the movie Alien. You know, Alien versus Predator? You know how Alien has like this particular exoskeleton body, and you can see like kind of like in the spine, very sharp blade-like looking exoskeleton spines that go from the back of the neck all the way down to the tail, okay? That's a big tail, literally like the alien creature. It's very, very strange. So these transformations are more alien-like than demonic when they occur. And, I mean, the empowerment is tremendous, okay? Everything will be boosted. Another thing that I forgot to say is Sargatanas will double, okay? The sacred number of Saturnian transformation and Sargatanas himself is 2. He shall double everything, okay? He will double your physical strength. He will double everything that has to do alchemically with your abilities. I've written everything in detail again, as I said, in post. And I personally have never felt so physically powerful. Your trainings will be severely empowered. Like you will go and sit down and lift double the weight that you could before. It might not sound like much, but when you do sit there and do it like it's nothing with such ease, without having to go through a lot of effort as you usually would, you'll be amazed. Astral healing, hearing, will be severely boosted. If you ever struggled with that, it's just gonna explode, okay? Connection to spirits, evocations, and most of all, banful work, because you will have this permanent black light glow upon your aura and your chakras, okay? And it will also connect each and every chakra after turning them into something that looks like a black sun, basically, with a black cord. So you are one complete shining. You will acquire a complete and overall black light shine. Okay. You will become the essence and embodiment of that black light, the dark light. Okay. which is very good. I mean, it has many, many positive side effects from what I have personally acquired and personally experienced. So that is it as far as God Saturn goes. I really suggest that those of you who are meant for this, contact him. His sigil and the Word of Power are in the group, of course. The ritual is not made public for the safety of those who are not supposed to acquire it, of course. I keep it for a specific cause. I will decide exactly what that cause will be, but of course I'm not just going to throw it out there any-weeny for the safety of those who are not supposed to initiate, because the spirits will not ask you if you have any prior knowledge or if you have any prior experience. The second you throw the ritual out there, that is it. Ignorance is not an excuse. Consumption shall occur if you are to fail this test. Do not summon anything which you are not acquainted with. Do not enter any path working which you shouldn't enter. And do not try and test the darkness of the universe for the sake of curiosity. It is a very bad idea. So, that would be all for now. Wishing you all a great day. And as always, rise and conquer, and revelet se nebrastura.